my husband exploded on me because he thought I baby trapped him. Now I found out the real reason he got upset, and I think I might divorce him. My husband, male 35, and I, female 32, have been married for just 7 years. He left next door. We just clicked. It was a fairy tale, like Shrek. One thing I've always thought made our marriage so strong was our friendship with each other and our trust in one another. Although now my husband seems to think otherwise. Recently, my husband found out that his friend Geoff, male 34, has been baby trapped. Basically, Geoff's wife, female 32, stopped taking the pill and fell pregnant a few months into their relationship and only came clean after the wedding. That's why boys, don't trust that they're on the pill. At least pull out.
Spill your seed where it don't bleed.
That is great advice.
Come on.
John doesn't miss. Geoff came from a very conservative family, which his wife knew, and so he felt obligated to marry her after the pregnancy. Unfortunately, he also feels obligated to stay regardless of the clearly messed up dynamic because he feels he has made a vow and will stick by his wife and child. I gotta give it up for Geoff though.
No, you're an idiot. Just leave.
But what about the sanctity of marriage?
The sanctity of marriage.
Yeah, Geoff, I don't know if this is a good relationship.
You know it's Jeff, right?
No, I'm gonna keep
I know. I just wanted to make sure you knew.
It's spelled Geoff. And what world is that pronounced the same as Jeff? My husband, for some reason, has been really rattled by this. I am currently 4 months pregnant with our first, and my husband asked me yesterday if I was trying to baby trap him.
Too much, bro. Cool your jets, buddy.
Chill.
I first laughed because I honestly thought it was a joke, but he was dead serious and he doubled down. So I told him that we have already been married for 7 years and a baby was not going to trap him any more than he already was. My husband did not like that answer and said there was no time limit on baby trapping and that my intentions were clearly not pure given how I was acting as if his concerns were a joke.
Oh, vomit.
He said he had trusted me in the past, but me laughing in his face gave him no reason to trust him now. There was more to the story, but what do you think so far about Geoff's reaction?
I hate this guy. Like, is this Geoff or was the friend Geoff?
Sorry, the friend's Geoff.
Friend was Geoff, and then OP's man. Yeah, I think he's an absolute idiot. I think all of the men are idiots. Geoff, leave. Just stop. All the men in the story, just stop.
It gets worse.
Of
Today
course it
I
does.
woke up and my husband was gone, but I didn't have a nasty text from his brother, male 28, saying that I forced my husband into this pregnancy, despite it having been a joint decision.
Oh my
I love
God.
how probably what happened. It was like, hey, like, babe, do you want to have a kid? And he was like, all right, let's do it. And then he's like, wait,
How dare you? How dare you do the thing I told you to do?
My husband is MIA and has not responded to calls or texts. And now I'm wondering how on earth to go forward. Any advice? What advice would you guys give her? But there are some commenters that said some stuff. So they said either the husband was panicking about fatherhood and looking for a way that would let him save face, or the husband has started an affair with someone else and again was looking for a way to end things without looking like the bad guy. Again, he could also just be super insecure.
Or maybe he's a fucking idiot.
There is an update though. Not sure if I'm allowed to post here again, but I wanted to quickly, you're not allowed, no. I wanted to quickly update everyone who was kind enough to give me some advice. I didn't respond anyone because my post was locked quite quickly, but I have read every single comment and message. I realized while I was reading the comments that everyone was right. Oh, Reddit, give me the best advice.
Come on.
I realized I wasn't angry enough. My husband had insulted me and our marriage in a very hurtful way, and it just didn't really register for a while.
Absolutely.
I was so confused and upset that it didn't occur to me to be angry, but Reddit made me realize I should be pissed as
Yes.
Reddit. Stir the rage. Stoke the anger. Stoke it. I love Reddit, bro. In the meantime, I called my best friend, female 31, who had been such a rock in my life. She came over with some chocolate classic and was furious when she heard. She's like, girl, don't accept that shit. She called her husband, male 34, into the house after I had gotten everything out of my system. He is a family lawyer and said that he would happily represent me if I wanted to go through with divorce.
Oh, wow.
Damn, son.
We're escalating.
Okay, well, he could just be insecure. Let's all right. I know Reddit is just like instantly divorce,
literally always.
And hey, we're the first ones to say the divorce chance really fun to do.
Yeah.
Divorce.
So fun.
We love saying it.
Yeah.
But you're going pretty hard in the paint right here.
Or maybe we just hear me out. Okay.
All right, I'm hearing you out,
We
John.
skip divorce straight to murder.
This man is a saint, and I will draw up the divorce papers on Monday. This all feels a little fast. I mean, do you have proof that he actually cheated? Like, this is a lot of suspicion. My mother-in-law, female 66, showed up with my husband in the car not long after my best friend's husband arrived, and she practically dragged him to the door. My mother-in-law said that he showed up at theirs late last night, saying that he was certain that I was using the baby to trap him. Fortunately, my mother-in-law is a smart woman and absolutely tore him a new one before dragging him to my house to apologize.
That's fire.
My worm of husband did not look me in the eye the entire time, but said that he was scared about becoming a dad and projected his fears onto me. He said that he wasn't sure if he was ready for that kind of commitment, but he will step up as if he is some kind of hero. Eye roll. I called him a coward and told him that he should stay with his parents until I'm ready to talk about him. I didn't want to say anything about the divorce papers because I didn't know what his reaction would be, but he will find out soon enough.
Yeah,
the divorce feels like a little bit much.
It does feel a little rushed. I do agree with you.
A lot of people have cold feet when they're having kids. Like, that's a common thing. And it's a common thing with marriages too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the husband has a lot of making up to do, but I think it's like, if this is a relationship worth, say, 7 years, who also will be the father of your child? Like, not that the kid thing should make them stay together, but worth sitting down and unpacking.
Yeah,
I think at a minimum.
I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of times where partners feel insecure in a relationship.
Yeah, totally.
And it should at least be talked about.
Yeah.
But damn, Reddit just goes for divorce every single time.
Yeah. And she's eating it up.
She's eating it up. I also showed my mother-in-law the text from my brother-in-law, and her face was like a storm cloud. I don't know what will happen here, but I'm sure it will be bad. For now, I am exhausted and just want to curl up and cry. My best friend said she'll spend the night with me and we can watch silly movies. I've also made an appointment with a therapist for the next week, but for now, I just need to rest. I am exhausted and devastated that my marriage has come crumbling down. Sorry for the sad ending. Wow. We want to know what you think. Put in the comments below. Divorce?
Divorce? Question mark?
Instant divorce?
Yes or no divorce?
But John, let me know what you think. Well, I guess first question, do you think OP should get divorced?
Not yet. And also, we don't know the exact timeline here as well. Is this days? Is this months? Like, I don't know. Sounds like it was maybe
quick.
Weeks.
Sounds like it was quick.
Yeah, like it feels pretty quick, at least in the decision timeline. Maybe there was like gaps between like the major events and decisions, but I would definitely sit down and maybe say to him something like, this is the type of thing that like
cannot happen again
and like ruins relationships. You know what I mean? Like, this is like making me not want to continue with this relationship, but I'm like sitting down and like trying to like understand.
Yeah.
You know,
and also just like, I've been cheated on in the past in my first relationship, and like that sucked. And especially because it was my first relationship, it was traumatic. And it's still baggage that I have with me today that makes me like a little like just like not trusting.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's always been fine, but I just like say like, hey, like I just talk to my partner and say, like, I don't accuse them of cheating, but like I just say, hey, like this makes me uncomfortable. Let's talk about it.
Are you a real Redditor? You're telling me you don't out the gate with zero proof, jump straight to cheating?
I know. I think he definitely made a mistake, but I just don't think divorce, like the immediate divorce maybe is.
Totally. I told my pregnant daughter, I don't care about you right now. Am I the a-hole?
Get those problems away from me. You're infecting my vibe.
Get out of my face. My vibes aren't infected. Mm-hmm. So I, female 49, have 2 kids. Christina, female 26, and Dwight, male 16. Dwight is neurodivergent and needs my attention and my husband's all the time, since there's lots of things that he can't do by himself. I am his primary caregiver. Christina got married and is now pregnant, and I'm happy for her, but the problem is she wants my attention all the time. She knows that I have to take care of her brother, but still calls me up all the time and asks me to go with her to appointments and whatnot. I told her several times that I can't unless it's an emergency, since Dwight gets severe anxiety in hospitals and I can't leave him alone. She still gets upset because she thinks I can just leave him with a nurse for a couple hours.
The fact that the mother can't step away for a second to be with the daughter through the birth, red flag. I say divorce the mom.
I think the pregnancy hormones might be affecting her too much, and she wants to fight for her mom's attention.
Your daughter just wants you to be there through her birth. Jesus.
It would be okay if it wasn't because her brother needs special care. She's going to give birth soon, and she asked me to go stay at her house for a bit before the birth and some weeks after the baby's born. I told her I can't do that. I would need to take Dwight with me, and she won't be able to relax with him there since he can be a bit of a troublemaker sometimes. She told me to leave him with his dad and nurse.
There's a dad and a nurse there. Come on.
I told her that she needs to understand that my priority is taking care of my son now, and I have to be there for him. She argued that she's my daughter too, and she needs me since she has no one else. I told her that's a lie because she has her husband. And I also said that maybe when her kid is born, she'll understand that as a mom, your first priority are your kids, and even more if they are special needs and need you all the time. Now that she's an adult, she doesn't need me, and she's not my priority. She cried and insulted me, and she said that she'll never be able to forget that I chose her brother over her and during such a hard moment for her. Am I the a-hole? This is an interesting one to me. I'm very curious, everyone, to hear what you think in the comments below. What you would do. Sam?
What it sounds like to me is that ever since the kid was born, the daughter has taken a backseat.
Right.
Like, it sounds like she hasn't really had her mother there. And the fact that the mom can't even take a moment to be there with the daughter through a pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's going to ruin your relationship with your daughter.
I think one thing that would be very helpful to know in this scenario is a more detailed understanding of what the care looks like, because it's like we know the son is neurodivergent, where on the spectrum, etc. You know, what all does that entail?
Well, regardless, let's say it's
you're fair.
It's some of like let's say it's like really like he needs a lot of care. That mother is saying that she literally cannot be there for the birth of her child or for like some appointments to like she cannot be a mother to her at all.
Basically, period. Yeah.
Like, come on.
I am more on her side than I think you are in this scenario. But yeah, definitely, it's like there are these key moments, like going to the first ultrasound for your first child happens one time.
I would love to know what our
maybe
audience
Sam's wrong
thinks.
and I'm brilliant and right. So
maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, drop your comments, ladies and gentlemen.
Want to send me home for being 1 minute late? Fine, I won't work. And I don't think any of my friends will work either. This happened about 4 years ago. I do construction and we start fairly early. Boss got tired of people walking in at 6:05 or 6:03.
Oh my God.
When we start at 6 a.m., even though he was a few minutes late, more consistently than any of us were. So he said, if you aren't standing in front of me at 6 o'clock when we start, then I'm docking 15 minutes of your time for the day.
Why?
Because he's the boss. The next day, I accidentally forgot my tape measure in my car and had to walk back across the job site to grab it. Made it inside at 6 o'clock.
Nice.
Boss chewed me out and told me he was serious yesterday and docked me 15 minutes. So I took all of my tools off right there and sat down on a bucket. He asked me why I wasn't going to work. And I said, if I'm not getting paid until 6:15, I'm not working until 6:15. I enjoy what I do, but I don't do it for free.
Come on now.
He tried to argue with me about it until I said, if you're telling me to work without paying me, then that's against the law. Go imprison that boss.
Yeah, that's right.
You really want to open your company and yourself up to that kind of risk? Maybe I'm the kind to sue. Maybe I'm not. But if you keep on telling me to work after you dock my time, then we're going to find out one way or the other.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, OP is like really putting some threats down. He shut up pretty quickly after that, and everyone else saw me do it and him cave. So now they weren't going to take his crap either. Over the next few days, guys that would have been 1 or 2 minutes late just texted the boss, hey, sorry, boss, would have been there at 6:02 and gotten docked, so I'll see you at 6:15 and I'll get to work then. And then sat in their cars until 6:15 and came in when their time started.
Love it.
So between people doing what I did or just staying in their cars instead, he lost a ton of productivity and morale because he decided that losing 15 minutes of productivity per person and feeling like the big man was better than losing literally 1 or 2 minutes of productivity. Even though everyone stands around BSing and getting material together for the day until about 6:10 anyway. After a few weeks of that, he got chewed out by his boss over the loss of productivity and how bad the doc timesheets were looking and reflecting poorly on him as a leader because we were missing deadlines over it. And it showed that he doesn't know how to manage people.
Facts.
And then suddenly his little self-implemented policy was gone and we all worked like we were supposed to and caught back up fairly quickly. Worker solidarity for the win.
Let's freaking go.
I love that like you can just band together with your fellow workers and see the change you want to see in the world.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
OP, you are a inspiration.
I'm actually wondering if there's anyone out there that maybe thinks that OP was the a-hole.
We love controversial opinions on the show.
Customer explodes because the coffee was too hot and got me fired, but there's something huge the customer doesn't know.
Sounds like OP's in some hot water or maybe some hot coffee. Hey, yo.
I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work the weekends are James, the owner's son, goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but not the real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little itsy-weensy tiny things, like literally blow up about nothing.
Fun.
You know, we just love people who are angry for no reason.
That's half of Reddit.
I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad do you have to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on a high schooler and college kids?
Honestly, so true.
Kind of facts. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off of our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy had a temper about how we didn't make the coffee hot enough.
Get heated, bro. Maybe that will translate to your coffee.
Which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and it was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting and raving at him too.
Yes, there is a problem. This coffee isn't hot enough.
So my friend James was like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "Please, no, don't fire me. My family needs this money. I need this job, please." The angry guy started to backtrack. Like, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire him over. I didn't mean it."
No,
what did you mean?
He must be fired.
Excuse me, is it too hot or is it not hot enough? And then my friend James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all of that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple of times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. Almost every time the person who came in angry will apologize.
So funny.
Say that they didn't mean it. Anyways, I was telling my friends from school about this. A few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking that they had gotten someone.
Well, maybe they would be nicer to service workers if they actually thought that.
All service workers, please do this immediately. This is a genius life hack.
Yeah, I mean, like, I actually don't. I would love to know what all of y'all think. Is OP the a-hole or not? But I think OP is not the a-hole, and is actually doing all service workers a huge solid
justice
by like humanizing them in the eyes of Karens and Kens everywhere. My professor is offering extra credit for anyone who will buy her multi-level marketing products. What can I do about this?
I think you go all in.
I think you join her. Join the pyramid scheme.
Yeah, genius.
I'm an undergraduate student at a school in Massachusetts, and I'm taking a creative writing class.
Idiot.
What are you doing? Writing? ChatGPT can already write for you. What are you doing? My professor is really weird / like a new age kind of professor. And at the beginning of every class, she puts out an essential oil diffuser saying, "Studies show that essential oils improve brain function."
Well, if studies show.
Studies show, which I think is just a giant lie. Plus, the smells give me a headache, so it's probably reducing OP's cognitive function. She then lets us know that if we really like the essential oils, that we could buy them from her, which I thought was weird, but whatever. But then it got real. When we had our first essay due, and a lot of people, including me, got some really crap grades on them. I got a C-. But then the professor talked about how any student who purchases an order of $50 of her essential oils through her and doTERRA would get 20 bonus points added to that grade. Everyone looked pretty pissed and asked, "Is this legal?" All right, so there's an update.
Okay.
So it turns out that I really didn't have to do anything because some of the other students beat me to it. I sent the department head an email, but they told me that they were already dealing with it. When I went to the next class session, the professor wasn't there, but instead it was the department head and one of the deans for students. This dean is a badass, awesome dean, by the way. All the students love this dean.
Yeah.
They wanted to talk to us about ethical misconduct allegations in the class, and we spilled the beans about the weird things she'd been doing with doTERRA stuff. After we complained for about 20 minutes straight, the dean said, I count about 5 reasons to fire this professor, and each one is enough of a reason alone to fire her.
Wow.
They thanked us and dismissed us from class and told us to keep an eye on our emails to know what will happen next. As I was packing my things, I overheard the dean talking to the head of the department. So she offered to increase grades if her students purchased an unrelated product that put money back into her pocket, is breaking a couple of laws, including the exposure to chemicals that might cause serious problems with disability compliance.
Oh my God.
Currently, the class is an average of a D+ in the course because she wanted people to buy her freaking
literally
things.
like, but give everyone it's an evil genius plan a little bit.
Yeah. It broke the school's ethics rules, and it is also using the college's printing studio meant for printing out reading for students to print out doTERRA pamphlets.
I love it.
Yo, entrepreneur vibes.
Yeah, literally.
The dean looked a little exasperated at this point and was really trying to keep this down, I think. Anyways, the class was canceled for a week, and then we got one of the senior professors to cover for the class. All the previous grades we got with the crazy professor were removed, and we've been doing just easy assignments, and the class is super easy now. For the most part, it seems like they're just giving us A's for completion of the assignments, so this is looking to be like the easiest A that I'm ever going to get.
Wow. Man. Cool, happy ending, though.
There is a little bit of an update.
Oh, okay.
I heard through the grapevine the professor got fired and also lost a teaching fellowship grant or something. One of my friends in the class told me that the doTERRA professor was fired in the department's head office and stormed out of the office. But before she stormed out, she dumped hundreds of her doTERRA pamphlets from her bag onto the office's floor, along with a few testing samples of the oils, one of which shattered and spread peppermint oils over the office. My friend apparently helped them clean up the mess since they came for office hours. I can confirm the office still smells like peppermint.
Wow. Wow. How wild.
What a terrible professor.
Terrible professor, bro.
I can't imagine. Boss Babe Arrow, though. Boss Babe Arrow.
Oh, for sure.
That's all I got to say.
That's all you got to say.
We love you guys. Let us know in the comments below, and we'll talk to you soon.
Wow.